Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I go by the name of Chris Vick, and you tune into, and I welcome you to, the Game Lounge. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy Saturday. If you were off, enjoy your day off. If you weren't off, I hope you had a good day at work. And for your viewing pleasure tonight, we have some more Sonic Mania. So if you tuned into the last episode, you guys would know we wound up doing the Mirage Saloon level, and now we're heading to Lava Reef, and we're here now. So we're going to continue on with the story, and thank you so much for tuning in. You guys know how I play Sonic Mania. I use it more as a template for a conversation, just like almost every game that I do. Today's episode, I wanted to talk about... What was I talking about? I forgot. Oh, I got it. How video games are low-key an acid trip. I don't think anybody realizes the chaos that video games technically are when it comes to them having the ideas that they have. So, let me explain in further detail. Right now, I'm playing a game where a hedgehog that has the ability to run really fast is facing off against an evil scientist trying to turn his world into a robotic kind of utopia. And I looked at the game and I bought it and I was like, why not? That's the trippy thing about video games. So the fact that video games can literally be whatever you want them to be, and the fact that it simply just brings an idea to life, as I said, in the indie developers level, the indie developers episode, definitely check that out in the Game Lounge, please. So I'm really sitting back and thinking about how the games that I played back in the day were actually just some crazy ass things. So, like I said, Sonic the Hedgehog, you're this hedgehog that has the ability to run damn near the speed of sound and stuff like that. And you're trying to save your planet or your home from an evil scientist from turning it into whatever the fuck he wants to turn it into. That was the dumbest robot ever. Dig, 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 oh no. So, I'm fully aware, and I've been playing Sonic the Hedgehog games for years, but with them being as fire as they have been, I've never really had a reason to question them. Like, I was like, okay, cool, so, oh shit. Anyway, so I never had a reason to question them, but now that I'm older, the question of whether or not was somebody high as hell when they made these games is definitely on my mind right now. I'm gonna throw out a few titles, and you guys really sit back and think about the severity of this. Super Mario Brothers. So, let me get this straight, right? There's an Italian plumber that winds up going to a whole nother world called the Mushroom Kingdom, right? And he then begins to destroy these people after he finds out that a princess has been kidnapped. And then after they wind up after they realize the princess needs to be saved, he then goes throughout different worlds to save this woman. Mind you, he's an Italian plumber. And then he can use different plants and stuff to allow him different abilities. If he eats a mushroom, he grows twice his size. If he eats a flower, he can throw fireballs. If he touches a star, where did the star come from? And it was normal. Anybody playing Mario, for you to say that you don't know who Mario is like saying you don't know what, you saying, hold on a second. I done lost my train of thought. You saying you don't know who Mario is like saying you don't know what up is from up and what down is from down. Like, you have to know that. If you don't, then it's, it's a parental issue. I'm not going to get that far into it. But if you don't know who Mario is, that's more the reason why it's confusing, because he's such a well-renowned name. But the fact that, oh, that was perfectly timed. But the fact that you play the game knowing how weird it is, like, it's not a problem for you. As a kid growing up, I still didn't question it. I still play Mario games to this day, even though I questioned where was the person's mind at when they were making it. But it was like, all right, cool. Fuck it. I guess we'll play this game. And then, mind you, to make matters worse, they got mystical creatures there, which is like turtles that can walk on 2 feet. And we got other ones, like a turtle that can fly in a cloud on some other shit. Then they got these brown monsters called Goombas. And then they got ghosts called Boos. And then, to top it all off, to put the icing on the cake, the guy or the thing that kidnapped the princess is a fire-breathing dragon. I'm sorry, I didn't say that high enough. Fire-breathing dragon. And it was normal. Oh, shit. I took too long to get down here. I gotta do it again. Damn. See, that's what it felt like to fight the fire-breathing dragon guy. So, the game was a total hit, of course. Anybody who played Mario knows that there's a Mario game that everybody has in their hearts that they'll never forget. Whether it's old school, modern, or it's 3D, or it's 2D, or if it's a spin-off. Somebody has a Mario game in their heart to where they're like, nah, this can't be forgotten. I always talk about Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2. That was the perfect game in my eyes. I still play that game to this day. And it, I had it on every platform and stuff like that. I had it on my phone. I had it for the Game Boy. I still got it for the Switch. I just played it earlier for the Switch, actually. Come on, damn. I played it for the Switch actually earlier today. It's just one of those games that I feel like will never go out of style. And it does a really good job at, oh no. Okay, that's fine. It does a really good job at, you know, just keeping the simple standard of how a game doesn't have to be too flashy in order for it to be fun. Like most people try to take full care into the graphics and everything. When to be honest, we just want a game that just runs okay. Nobody's asking for fucking super tonic graphics. People are, but it depends on the game. If it's a Mario game, it's already started off that way. So long as you keep the recipe the way it is to where nobody complains, to be honest, you'll never have a problem. What is another game? Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal is a old school PS1 game that came out years ago, which has to do with car or vehicular combat. Oh shit. How do I kill this thing? Hey. Ah, damn. Should have saw that coming. Ah. Okay, I see it now. When do I hit him? So there's a gapping right here. Trying to watch the ceiling so these just don't fall on me. Oh, he kind of takes himself out. I just gotta survive, really. But then I also hit him when he cools off. There we go. Oh, yeah. Fuck with me, you know I got it. So, yeah, Twisted Metal is a game about vehicular warfare. Basically, you choose a vehicle and you go about getting crazy with it and stuff like that. But the reason why it's just maddening is because there's different types of... Oh, they took us to the ice caps. Nice. So the reason why it's weird is because of the fact that somebody really woke up one day and was like, I want vehicular warfare. I want a guy to have a flaming head with a clown face driving an ice cream truck that shoots rockets. Now, to a man, you know, that sounds fire. Like, what? An ice cream truck that shoots rockets? I'm fucking down. Hell yeah. But when you sit back and really think about it, that just sounds insane as fuck. Now, I'm not saying that I don't play it. There's 2 episodes out on the Game Lounge, of course. Because I think we did the first Twisted Metal, me and Hob, and then the other one, I think, to be honest, me and Calissa wound up doing it. However, there was just a bit of confusion when it came to why the game even exists. Why the game even exists. I'm not saying it shouldn't. I'm just curious as to where it came from. I know somebody had to have that question, like, yo, what the fuck is this going on with? So it was just a choice of what they chose to make. I feel like I'm not gonna lie, Mortal Kombat is definitely one of those games. Growing up, I didn't play a lot of gory stuff. I did on the first Xbox or whatever. Oh, give me that. Oh yes, I got it. Growing up, I didn't really play too many graphic games. I did, but when I first started playing games and stuff like that, it was more of how I had access to only certain things The first gory game that I ever played was Mortal Kombat 3 for the Super Nintendo. And as a kid, I was like, oh, this is a pretty good fighting game. You know, I had first got into Street Fighter or whatever, but then, okay, how do I get that shit? Got it. So, yeah, growing up, Mortal Kombat 3 was my first game. I had played Street Fighter and stuff, but Street Fighter isn't really gory. Street Fighter doesn't really show too much blood. It showed a little bit of, like, when you did a heavy attack on somebody, it showed some brown stuff falling out of the person's face as if they got really hit to where they threw up or whatever. But that's not really gory. That's kind of like a natural reaction for when you get hit in a certain area of your body. But for Mortal Kombat 3, what? There was times where I put the difficulty up just to see if I could be better at playing the game. And then when I realized that I wasn't, I saw the real ambition of what this game was really about. And I was like, yo, this shit is horrible. Why? Who the fuck would play this kind of game? Mind you, I said this probably like 100 times after I got my ass beat, but you know, that's beside the point. So when I wind up playing it for the first time, oh, come on now. I really gotta wait, like, for real, for real? Hold on. Oh, there we go. I'm like, figure it out, man. So when I wind up seeing the stage fatalities, like when you get uppercutted and then you fall off the stage and they wind up making you fall onto some spikes or get hit by the train or something. Bro, I tried to drop down. That's bullshit. So the train, right? When you wind up getting uppercutted, you wind up falling onto like the train tracks and shit like that. And it was pretty gory. But then as I got older, I saw about Armageddon and all the other GTA games and stuff like GTA games, Mortal Kombat games and stuff like that. And it was really good. However, I just was like, nah, Mortal Kombat definitely got it. Come on. Nah. How did I do it last time? Okay, that's kinda right. The lower I get it, hold on, I guess right here? There we go. Alright, so it's where I jump. I thought it was more of me holding down or something. Alright, this time I'm gonna just let myself fall. There we go. Excuse me. What? You know, you see a spring straight ahead, it's gonna shoot you like 1,000 miles forward. So, Mortal Kombat was definitely weird. A guy that was able to control ice, another guy that wound up being against him that was able to control fire. There was a kung fu person who knew how to do a bicycle kick. There was another guy that walked around with a sombrero, but the sombrero was like coated around the corners with a very sharp blade type material. Then there was a guy that punched you in the nuts. It was just weird. I did not play Mortal Kombat because it was weird. I just didn't play it because, I don't know, after a while, it didn't really entertain me as much as I thought it would, off the strength that I wasn't as good at it. And don't be fooled by anybody. If you're a real gamer, the real reason why you probably put a game down is because you probably got your ass beat in that game. That's kind of how I felt about, I love you too, Glizza. That's kind of how I felt about, the Power Rangers game that I recently did. That episode, oh boy. Mind you, the practice that I said I did before that I told you I was going to do, it was not eventful. But at least I got further in that episode, so who cares? So, what was I getting ready to say? Yeah, so it was just weird because of the character choices and stuff. Damn. It was weird because of the character choices and stuff like that. However, it was more of just the goriness that they had in such an early time. But then that's what made a staple of a franchise. Like, Mortal Kombat is still being talked about to this day, and that game came out in the 90s, so I might be talking shit, but shout out to them. That is called longevity. That is the right way to do it. Oh no. This is boss level over here. Okay, maybe not yet. Now. Where am I going? This sounds safe. Oh. Oh shit. Bro, it's crazy with this thing. Ah. Still caught you. Gotta keep at least one ring. I'm almost done, y'all. So video games like that have definitely been pretty weird. And, you know, amidst the fact that they've been weird, it didn't take away from the fact that they were fire. Like, those games are still dope. And like I said, I still play them to this day, so I don't take back on anything. Hold on. Where is he at? That's bullshit. How you supposed to hit this nigga? Upside his head? Gotcha. Do it again. Oh, you must have heard me. Yeah, one more time. Son of a bitch. Ah. Where you go? Ah. Gotcha. You can't jump but so many times, asshole. Yep. And that's how you do it. Tails, get that thing, or I'll do it. Woo! As I said, those games are weird as hell, and those are just a few titles and stuff like that. I can't think of any other ones really, because I do play a bunch of them, but then some of them make sense because they're like from superheroes or whatever. Oh, Metallic Madness. How far are we now? I do a little Metallic Madness, just a little bit. Yeah, so I'm trying to think of one last title, but I don't think I can think of one. I already talked about Sonic. What else? I would have said Pokemon, but Pokemon actually wasn't weird. It was actually cool. Because you probably wanted to see animals like that. But I'm trying to think about how they could have had something. Well, I mean, aside from the fact that, you know, it was just animals in general. Like, what the fuck? But they were still pretty cool. I still fuck with Lugia heavy. Shout out to Lugia from Pokemon. Okay, get that ring back. Yeah, so yeah, I can't really think of no other games, but there's handfuls of games out there that wind up touching onto the real weird factor, but the fact that they're weird is what makes them become playable and stuff like that. So it was actually pretty dope. And some of those really weird games are the games that we actually grew up with, and we take real pride in playing as adults because we took pride in them as playing as kids. And, you know, a lot of those games actually have shaped the lives of handfuls of us, because like I said, those few games that I named, those are actually the games that really got me onto the levels of, like, really gaming and stuff. So I have nothing but respect for them. But they were weird as fuck. Like, for right now, as a hedgehog, I don't even know why I will put myself in this position. Like, where does Sonic get the consciousness to be able to know right from wrong? You are an animal. And all you know is to curl into a ball when shit gets funny. You're doing the ball curling part, but everything else... You got me kind of lost there, champ. And yet, once again, Sonic is a well-known game throughout the years. He just recently had his 35th year anniversary, and he's been out for 35 years. And he's been making a hit. He just wound up coming out with a racing game, I think, which is probably the closest that they'll get to Mario Kart. But to be honest, I think it's a little better because their crossover characters are not Nintendo-based. They're kind of from damn near anywhere. But it would make sense if it was just Sega characters, because it is a Sega game. My dark mind. I know y'all saw that bee's nuts. Bro, you ain't gotta let us know that you're working with it. Just, you know, just tell the bee girls. Tell the beaches. Yeah, I said it. I'm sorry. I had to say it. Tell the beaches. Female bee-hoes, the beaches. Aww. And with that note, I'm going to wind up calling it a night on the Game Lounge, though. Absolutely, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have any weird games that you wind up playing that I didn't say tonight, which of course I didn't say too many because I don't want to stretch the episode too long, but I wanted to name a few honorable ones. If you got any ideas of any weird games that you played in your past or that you played recently, leave a comment down below or DM me and let me know, and then I'll talk about it in the next episode, or I'll even try to put it on the channel if I could get it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Any game ideas you might have, please send them to us. To those who are those who subscribed recently, once again, thank you guys so much. We wound up getting to 160. Well, I don't want to say it, and then the person had not done it. So I'm going to double check right now. It doesn't say they did, and that's okay. But we're probably about to have 167. That's a great number. Excellent number. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. But please enjoy the rest of your night, guys. And until next time, game into your sleep.